You obviously don't have a whole lot of experience with losing football games. How have you processed the last couple of weeks?
After the game, I probably said about 6 words, just after the game, and then on the bus on the way home. But I think losing that game is definitely a learning lesson. Something we can all learn from as a team. Myself, just got to be better. But how I've taken it, I can only learn from it and get better from it. It was obviously tough losing, but I think it'll be good for us in the end.
Did you find out anything about yourself after doing something like that, seeing as how it had been so long?
No, I've been in those positions before, but usually came out on top. This time we didn't. So, we fought to the end, and that's really all you can ask for. So.
What do you see in terms of energy from the defensive side, just in the last week or so?
This past week, this bye week was definitely one of our most competitive practices of the year since camp. So I think we got a lot of good one-on-one work in, good work in. It was competitive all week, and I think that'll come into this week. Everybody's refreshed. I feel like having the week off. So coming in, going to TCU, I think it'll be a good week of practice for us, and we'll be ready to go.
How do you learn how to handle going through something like that and losing, and sort of the leadership aspect of it for you, given that you haven't been in that situation very often?
He said, how do you learn how to handle that?
Yeah. Like
being down?
Well, being down, and also the leadership role and motivating everybody around you to move forward.
I think there's you gotta be cool and calm at the same time, but you gotta know that the urgency of we're down by however much we were down by, but at the same time if I freak out, everybody's looking at me, then that's not a good look for the team. So for me, it's just staying myself, trusting the process, trusting the game, and just going through my reads. At the end of the day, I mean, you saw what we did in the 8 minutes or whatever it was in the fourth quarter. I mean, to say we could have did that all game, yeah, but I mean that's part of the game, and we like I said, we got to put that together more often, for a 4-quarter game, and we should be fine.
Kyler, it's obvious that Kennedy Brooks has shown some flashes for you guys, and then you see that he had that bust in the Texas game. How much do you approach young guys like that? How much does their team kind of rally around to kind of help them kind of figure it all out?
I think he's just been patient. Like you said, everybody's kind of seeing what he can do now, and he's been here for a while. He just hasn't been on the field, so he's been patient, and now his time's it's kind of coming along. And he's making the most of it. So I think he'll get more reps as the season goes along because he's running great, and he's a great running back. Obviously, he did a lot of good things in high school, and I think people are starting to see it now. So
you think that's just kind of an issue where once you get on the field, it's just a lot different than being in the film room in terms of having a bust here or there?
Oh, you talking about like a bust as in like a bad play?
Yeah, when you ran the option, you could tell he
Oh,
was.
Yeah, I think that just comes with experience, him being on the field more. But I mean, he hasn't done it too much, so I'm not really too worried about it.
Kyler, when you were younger, did you pattern your quarterbacking after any notable quarterbacks?
I mean, there wasn't really a lot of short guys back then. But I was always a fan of Michael Vick, and I admired the leadership aspect of the way Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, those guys carry themselves. But as far as playing goes, guys just like Cam, Mike, those type of guys.
Has that changed over time from your Allen days to now? I mean, do you not really do that much as you get on this level? I
mean, the game evolves. You got to be able to throw it from different angles, move in the pocket, all those things. So, no, I've always strived to be the best I can be. So, I mean, that'll never stop. I think you just got to get better. As the game grows, you got to get better with it.
So there weren't a lot of tall guys, as you mentioned. So what gave you the confidence to believe that you could be that dude? You know what I mean?
No, it's funny you ask that because I didn't. Growing up, I always knew I wasn't that big, so I never really thought I'd be. I didn't think I'd get recruited like I did. So I always thought I'd end up at a small school and have to play my way up to what I thought I could be. But no, yeah, I've always had the confidence in myself. That was never a thing. It just, whether or not, the colleges or coaches, felt the same way about myself. So, no.
Kyler, at the midway point of the season, what's impressed you the most about this offense, and what part of the offense would you like to see improvement going into the back half?
I think we've done a lot of good things. I think we're, as an offense, we're really explosive and we know it. But at times, I feel like, we kind of, I don't want to say, kind of just waste a couple of drives here and there during the game. But, we just kind of lose focus, I guess, a couple of penalties here and there, and just we kind of set ourselves back. But I think, we can be as good as we want. And, I think going forward, everybody knows, what's at stake. And, for us to put it together, we all got to be locked in and focused. But what was your second question?
Just what part of the offense would you like to see improvement in the back half of the season?
Improve. Every area. I mean, everything's got to get better. We just got to continue to get better as a team, offensively, defensively, special teams, for to end up where we want to go.
Kyler, you were sitting out in 2016 when this happened, but what do you remember about the way Baker Mayfield rallied people together after the 2 losses, and specifically, do you remember he had kind of a passionate speech he gave after the Ohio State game?
I don't remember the speech. Well, actually, I mean, I don't really remember what he said, but as far as the rallying together, I think it obviously doesn't just take one person. I think the whole team just kind of rallied together and knew the standard at the University of Oklahoma, and just losing the games that we've lost. I mean, that was probably a tough Ohio State loss. We had lost to Houston, 2 weeks before that, but we were kind of down, losing 2 games. Everybody thought the season was over, and we kind of went on a run to go undefeated for the rest of the season, and then you saw where we ended up. But I think that's something this team can do. I think we got a lot of athletes that are prepared to do this. The coaches are prepared to do this, and we just got to put it together.
Kyler, have you found yourself saying things in since the Texas loss that you weren't before? The need to step out and be more, well, I don't know if it's, he asked you about Baker's speech. You don't strike me as a speech-making type necessarily, but I mean, are you more vocal around the guys in the locker room just to make sure everyone's still on point?
Wait, say it again.
Or have you been more vocal since the Texas loss?
I mean, nothing has changed as far as, outside of the locker room. I mean, I can't really, I'm not going to really speak on, what goes on inside the locker room. But, no, the guys know how I feel about it. We've all kind of discussed, what needs to happen and what will happen. So, other than that, I really don't have anything to say about that.
Historically, this team has not lost back-to-back regular season games since 1999. Just your thoughts on that impressive streak and trying to maintain that this week?
I think this is a new year. Just because the streak or whatever is in place, it doesn't just happen. We still got to have a good week of practice. We still got to go out there and win the game. I mean, this is a good team. They're not just going to give us this win. So, yeah, but we got to go out there and take it. It's nothing's given or everything's earned in this conference. So. They'll be ready, I'm sure, and we'll be ready too. So.
Last week was sort of a different week around here. Does it feel more stable?
The bye week
to you now? Yeah, just with what transpired. And,
yeah.
Does it feel a little more stable a week later?
I mean, to me, everything feels the same. Despite the loss and then you losing Coach Stoops. I mean, like I said, everything that. We know what's going on. It doesn't really affect us. All we can do is control what we can control as players. And moving forward, like I said, we just got to continue to practice hard, continue to get better, and at the end of the day, we'll end up where we want to be.
How did you spend that downtime?
I was just at home. I was chilling, with the family.
Tyler, I know he's not on your side of the ball, but what have been your impressions of Ruffin McNeil, just as a coach, and the way that he relates to the defensive players?
Ever since he's got here, been a guy that can relate to the kids. Coach is really hard. Coach is really tough. I'm sure some of the players, they find it hard at times, but he's hard on you. He cares about you, and we know that. And we expect him to do a great job. So I'm not really too worried about it.